my name is LaKeisha Gantt, and I am running for mayor of Athens-Clarke County. So I want to say thank you to my neighbors and to my friends for joining me. I also want to give a special thanks to Ms. Charmaine for allowing us to use this spot, a very special area, a very special spot to me to announce my candidacy for mayor. So thanks again for joining me. As you can see behind me, this is a neighborhood that was formerly known as Paldo. To some, it was known as Jack Arwell's community. I can tell you I was at 505D for a good bit of my life. And in addition to that, I was in the 200s, which are basically we're right here, directly behind me, which is where my grandma lived for a while, and then she lived down in a little bit further down. But the point is, many of you, like me, have fond memories of the grounds that we stand on right now. From cookouts to, I don't know if people, my community and family and friends remember the icy lady, Miss Willie Mae, who lived that way. We had a candy man that would post up daily directly behind me and down the street. He used to sell penny candy. I remember fondly in this neighborhood, just right over a hop, skip, and a jump, that my grandma would sell fish sandwiches on Fridays. She sold ice cream by the scoop, and she sold drinks. I remember sometimes walking to work, which was a hop, skip, and a jump that way. I remember summers putting a fan in the window. And I think many of our families did. I remember our Uncle Albert coming to light our power light right here in this neighborhood. I don't have a lot of memories. It's very vague. But before I started formal preschool, I also used to go up to Miss Veronica, which is behind you and around the curve. I remember playing run bat in the open area right down the street here. So my point is, those are my fond memories and experiences, but my guess is that many of us, all of the individuals standing behind me, my family and friends, all of the people that grew up here in Paldo have fun memories and experiences. But even as a child, I didn't know how much leadership, I didn't know how much governance, and I didn't know how much politics mattered. In fact, I did not know I was poor. And even now is sort of hard to believe. I don't think any of us thought of ourselves as poor, but in fact, rich in community, rich in love, and just rich in support. But again, I did not know how much leadership, governance, and politics were actually shaping my life at that time. Now, the physical community that we had, and as we know, is no longer here. And as you see, there's a beautiful housing complex and community behind me that includes both affordable housing as well as regular rate housing. But the actual community that I knew it no longer exists anymore. Not only is that community gone, the spirit of the community was impacted as well. But I started here today to announce my run for mayor because that spirit of our community lives in me. And it not only lives in me, it lives in everybody behind me. It lives in, I believe, all of the residents here at Columbia Brookside. I believe that spirit lives in all Native Athenians. I believe that spirit lives in all Athenians. The spirit that has a drive for community. So it lives in you, and it's driving me to do something different. It's driving me to do something to move Athens forward. and it drives you to do something different. It drives you to do something to move Athens forward, because Athens is in our blood and it's our home, and we all share the goal of making Athens a better place. We have fight in us. We have this urgency. We have a calling to make Athens and our communities better. And it all started right here, preparing us, preparing me to run for mayor, preparing you to impact your communities in ways that we could never imagine. Neighbors and friends, I am asking for your support. I'm asking for your prayers. I'm asking for your vote. And I'm asking that you will allow that urgency to drive you, that community, that spirit that was birthed right here. I am asking that you will allow that to drive you, and that you will support me as we work to move Athens forward. I want to restore our sense of community. I want to restore our sense of pride. And I do believe that it starts here. It starts with our fight. It starts with our lived experience, our lived experiences, and it starts with our voice. It is our voice. This is our city, and it's our time. Thank you. Thank y'all, cheerleaders. Family and friends, thank you for joining me. Community, those that may be tuning in or listening to this after the fact, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for joining me for a quick stop at my old school. So we started this morning at my home, which was Paldo. And then I wanted to talk about the significance of different places and people, mainly places that have shaped me. There is a lot I can't remember about being a little girl. But one thing I remember about this stop, this is the Maddox Center. And this is where my formal preschool education began. And then I went to Parkview Play School after this. Miss Hall was my teacher. There were a lot of other Black children who attended the Maddox Center. The Maddox Center, as you may have read, has significance because, again, it was a place for children, many children of color. And it was ran by advocates, not just this center, but many child care centers, by Ms. Neely, by Ms. Maddox, and all of the other women, Black women, who cared about our community, cared enough about our community to have an impact on children and to shape the lives of children. So as I mentioned, I went on to attend Parkview Play School, which is about a mile from here, then Oglethorpe, then BHL, then Clark Middle, switch those, Clark Middle and then BHL, and Clark Central. So in a neat way, my formal education actually took place in this corridor. I stopped here because this is a place of significance, and education is important. And education is where I've spent a significant amount of my professional life. And education has shaped me, starting here. I've worked with kids in education who could not see themselves as I saw them. I've worked with children who were brilliant but didn't know it. Working with children that the system itself did not make room for, that the system was not really designed for. I've worked with children who did not have their basic needs met. But this place and many other childcare places and many schools continue to meet not just the basic needs of children, but their emotional needs and their psychological needs. Then, as I transitioned from my work in education, my work began to shape my desire to change policy, to change larger systems for children, but then for the people who serve children, but then for the parents and families that raise children, and then for the communities that shape the parents and families that raise children. So in other words, my work in education showed me that there was much more to do. Education and our schools are a microcosm of our community. That just means they're a reflection of our community. It became even clearer in my work that I needed to transition my focus to our larger community. After all, it's the local government that helps create the conditions that our schools and families exist in. It's the local government and their partnerships with other organizations that help determine the quality of life for our families. Back then, it was the local government that shaped my life, again, in ways that I did not know. And that's when it became clear to me that I needed to do more. And here I am. This is my more. I'm running for mayor of Athens-Clarke County. And I'm running for mayor because I understand not just our community. I understand where my life started. I understand the spirit of the community, but I also understand that there are factors that shape who we are beyond education. I understand that school and home are intricately connected, and that home and community are intricately connected, and that local government and the quality of our communities can't be separated. Politicians and leaders shape our world and our experiences in ways that we can't imagine. I know sometimes we don't like to think this, and sometimes people think of themselves as apolitical or that they're not political. But I'm here to tell you that politics matter. Leadership matters. Who you have in elected positions matter. And now is the time for us to put people in leadership that understand that there are no perfect places. There are no perfect schools, certainly, but there are certainly no good schools without good communities. There are no good outcomes without good communities. And it's hard to have a good community without a mayor, without a commission, without county leaders that understand this and that are connected to the everyday struggle and the everyday experiences of people. I'm a person that understands this. And my hope is that as a neighbor and as a person that has been shaped by the educational institutions in our county, that you do too. Again, this is our time. This is our time to lift our voices, because these are not just our schools, but these are our families. Not just our families, these are our communities. And it's not just our communities, but this is our government. It's our voices, it's our city, and it's our time. Thank you. Good morning for the third time. A lot of us have traveled this morning from Paldo to the Maddox Center. And it's been important. It was very important for me to start in Paldo because I feel like that's where my community spirit was, that's where it was born. And that is the place that shaped me. And so again, I want to say thank you to Ms. Charmaine for allowing us to use her property this morning. I want to say thank you to Bethel for allowing us to, and the pastor for allowing us to use their property this morning at the Maddox Center, which is a place that nurtured me as my first experience with formal education in Athens. And so this is our stop. This is our, I won't say our final stop, but this is the main stop in the journey. And I'm a bit impromptu. I've stuck to all of my speech limits. So I noticed a couple of people come in that have been a significant part of my raising at some point or my children's life. So please feel free to join us up here if you would like. So again, thank you for joining me. Every experience that I've named so far, this morning I started off talking about how Paul Doe had shaped me. I talked about how we had the candy man where we would get penny candy from, or we would go to Miss Willie Mae's house for ices. How we built a sense of community, how we would play run, bat in, how we would sit on the porch. Most importantly, how Paul Doe fostered a sense of community, and that there were many positive experiences. But I also, and I left that and left the Maddox Center saying that, but what happens outside of Paul Doe matters. What happens with our leadership and our politics matter. It's just that I did not know that. And so I had a lot of positive experiences, and all of which I've named. You've had a lot of positive experiences. We've had good experiences. We've had bad experiences. We've had memorable experiences. But in addition to all of the good experiences that I named, there were also ways that my community was impacted. I lived in a community that was over-policed and that was over-controlled by forces outside of that community. I lived in a community sometimes where occasionally we might mistake who we were fighting against, thinking that it was each other when it should have been for the causes that would help our community. But that didn't cancel out the good. These were just the realities. And so, make no mistake about it. I've had good experiences here, but I've also had bad experiences. I've been impacted by some of the same systems that many of the people behind me, and not just people behind me, but people that are not here, have been impacted by. Again, a lot of our experiences are shaped by leaders, politics, and the communities in which we exist. Our politics can make our lives better, but they can also make our lives unbearable. And we don't allow this reality to create urgency with the leaders that we elect. Instead, we tend to worry about our own lives. What's good for me? What's going to work for my family? What's going to work for my friends? How do I get my friend or my neighborhood this particular thing? We tend not to think about what can we do for others? What can we do for the collective Athens to make Athens and its communities better? That needs to change. And it can change. Regardless of our problems, and many of you know me, I don't really shy away from talking about problems, I still have hope. And I still believe in the capacity of what joins us together, which is our human experience. And I believe that everybody wants to thrive, but we have to make that a priority. So the issues that we see in our community need to change. They can change. Our voices need to be heard. And when you elect me as mayor, you will elect someone who is connected to everyday people, the struggles, the realities, and the experiences of everyday people. We need leadership that's bold and connected to the communities that are unheard. We have an Athens that is centered. We can have an Athens. We don't have an Athens yet. We can have an Athens that is centered on our collective uplift, that focuses on better wages, improving living conditions, especially for families and elderly people or veterans or any of our marginalized population. We can have an Athens that is focused on stronger support for minority businesses and small businesses. We can have an Athens that's focused on uplifting communities, especially those that are not well represented and those that are forgotten about often. They are often unheard and they are often unseen. We can have an Athens that work towards stronger support services for mental health. These are things that are all within our reach. We can work towards a stronger Athens together. Not a perfect Athens, but a stronger Athens. With leadership that focuses on we and not me. Many of you who've talked to me know that, as a little girl, I had no idea. I don't recall thinking when I grow up I want to be mayor or that I even wanted to run for school board. This is not something that I take lightly, but there is a need. And I believe that I am a person and the person who can lead the charge to moving Athens forward. We have to have leadership that is not far removed from our everyday struggles. Right now, at this moment, while I'm speaking, there is someone that does not have a place to live. There is someone that does not have food to eat. There is someone that is robbing Peter to pay Paul. That should not be so. It should not be so. While I understand that these are hard problems to tackle, we have to start tackling them with laser focus and with boldness. We need leadership that is collaborative and that creates space for unheard voices. We can build a strong Athens together. I really do believe that. Athens birthed me. Many of the people that you see behind me raised me or have shaped me in some way. It runs through my blood, and not just my blood, but I believe our blood. The truth is now is the time for us to move forward. In today's sort of national spotlight of politics, national, state, and local, we must move forward, and we must focus on other people outside of ourselves and our collective uplift. So here's what I'm asking you. I'm asking for your vote. I'm asking for your support, your continued prayers, and I'm asking for a commitment today that you will vote LaKeisha Gantt for your next mayor, but not only that you will tell your friends, and that you will tell your family, and that you will tell your neighbors. Simply put, Paldo is on the ballot. Nellie B is on the ballot. The East Side is on the ballot. Rock Springs is on the ballot. Small businesses are on the ballot. Unheard voices and marginalized communities are on the ballot. But again, we can move Athens forward together. It's our voice. Athens is our city. And now is our time. Thank you.
LaKeisha Gantt for mayor. 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 LaKeisha Gantt for mayor.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll just end by saying thank you so much. We are looking forward to running an energized campaign, and of course the goal is to get me in the mayor's seat. The goal is also to energize people, to get people who do not feel that they're represented. We got to get them back connected to the work that's being done. When we are not represented, and it's not because of people who are malintentioned or anything like that, it's just easy to be forgotten. And so the goal of this campaign is also to re-energize and to invite voices that have not been a part of the political process. And so that at the end, we have issues that we can move forward when I'm in that seat. Okay? And when we have our commissioners in that seat. And so thank you again. Feel free to hang around, take plenty of pictures, because I've been told I'm not a good picture taker, and as a result, we do not have pictures, that many pictures that we have. Our website is up and running, but take pictures, share. We have comment cards out as well, and so if there are things that as we build we're building the platform, but we're also listening. And so if there are things that we need to be thinking about, things that we need to be talking about, please let us know, okay? Thank you again. Thank everybody for coming, and thank my wonderful campaign team.
Thank you.
Yes, and I do have my campaign manager, one of my 2 campaign managers here tomorrow. Thank you so much. Well, my campaign team so far, like we're building, but will you raise your hands at some place who've helped put this launch together? Thank you all so much for being here. And yeah, LaKeisha Gantt for mayor.